So I'm going to talk a little bit about where we're headed with season 2 and hopefully get some input from you all to help us sort of co-create what the rest of this season could look like. So if I could have the next slide, Libby. Thank you. So Libby talked about this a bit earlier today about, how we've structured this series really around the evaluation cycle, and that in season 1, we sort of dug into many of these concepts and questions on what's showing up on the left side of the screen here. And so as Libby mentioned, we have all the resources from season 1 related to those concepts and questions available on our website if you missed those and you want to check them out, or if you want a refresher. And then now in season 2, we're going to be going through this right-hand side. So coming up on December 17th, our focus is going to be on data analysis with a key question about what does our evidence tell us. And so it's sort of our idea. The idea here is not that we're trying to figure out like what's the one fundamental truth that is evident underneath all of the data. It's that we have collected all sorts of data from all sorts of different people, and different individuals are going to have different ideas about what the data means. And so what are the different ways that we can use to understand and to bring diverse perspectives into understanding what the evidence that we have tells us. So that's what we'll be digging into in December. So we hope you'll join us there. And then in January, we're going to be looking into implications. So we've analyzed some of our evidence, tried to make sense of the data that we've collected. And now we're thinking about, okay, based on this, does it seem like we're doing the right things? Does it seem like we're doing things right? So we're trying to understand from these data, what can we take from this related to the way that we're actually implementing our programming. And then coming up in February, we'll be looking at planning and adjusting. So based on our analysis of the evidence that we have, our reflections on, okay, what does this evidence mean for our program? We think about, okay, how might we improve based on what we've learned here? And then in March, we'll be looking at implementation. So what's required to do what we planned? Because something that I think is true for our team and that we've heard people sharing sort of throughout this series and in other conversations is that there's like sometimes this problem of data, surveys or whatever it is sitting in a drawer and they just sort of live in there untouched. But there's also sometimes this possibility of getting stuck in like, okay, we've collected the data and we've sort of figured out what it might be indicating we could change about our program, but then it can still be really hard to like take that next step into actually figuring out, okay, now on the ground, what are we gonna do to change and move forward based on what we've learned? And so we're gonna focus in on that idea in March. And our plan for all of these is to have stories from the field sort of incorporated in some way, because that's something that our team has really enjoyed learning from folks within the network, and that we've heard a lot of feedback from those of you who've attended the sessions in season 1 that you really enjoyed being able to hear about the work that other people are doing. And so that's kind of the direction that we're headed, broadly speaking, for season 2. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all that you offered and shared, and just for the thinking that you did, even if you have thoughts still percolating that you weren't able to share out. This is all important work that we're doing together. We really appreciate you. We're looking forward to seeing you in December. And our team is open and available and super jazzed about talking about these ideas with any of you who want to. So please do feel like you can reach out to us. Like, we want to talk to you, so you're not bugging us, we promise.